to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Golden Grizzlies!
You are listening to the 88.3 FM WXOU post-game interview with Ainsley Goose. Ainsley, thank you for being here.
And we are back to full strength here for the final 3:20. Shot and
Goal! Hunter finds Golke for 3. It's good for Golke.
There's Golke again calling his own number with a 3-point shot.
Welcome to WXOU, everybody. After Oakland University wins against the University of Michigan 2-1, one of the goal scorers, Donovan Phillip, is with me here.
And that is a very, very fiery attack on behalf of Oakland's Libby Gentile.
But I just wanted to know, how were you guys able to rally after dropping your last 2 games?
Shot is up, shot is good, and there it is.
Looks like everybody gets their pizza tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they were waiting for. Maybe it was just me.
Welcome, everybody. You are listening to Golden Grizzlies baseball here on 88.3 FM WXOU. We are here at the Oakland Baseball Field as the Oakland Golden Grizzlies get set to take on the visiting and current #1 Wright State Raiders. I am Harjun Buttar, joining you solo from the field. Giovanni Moceri has kindly volunteered to be our studio manager and social media manager for this game. It is an extremely, extremely important series for the Golden Grizzlies. They are currently sitting in 3rd place in the Horizon League, behind both the Wright State Raiders and the Northern Kentucky Norse. Oakland took care of Northern Kentucky in the homestand after coming back from a 24-3 loss in the first game. Starting pitcher for today's game for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is number 4, Hunter Pydek. First pitch is down low, and that's going to be called ball 1. Up to bat first for the Wright State Raiders is number 55, Julian Greenwell. That one's going to be in there for ball 2. It's going to bring the count to 2-0. Here's a 2-0 outside, and that's not going to get there in the strike zone. Pydek's already battling a 3-0 count against Greenwell. Here's the 3-0 inside for strike 1. Hunter Pydek currently sitting at an 8.55 as that one goes foul. An 8.55 ERA, hasn't won a game since April 5th in Milwaukee, has had a really rough start, has been Jordan Banfield's starting pitcher. That one is cranked to right field, and that's going to go over the fence. Lead off home run for Julian Greenwell. Wright State gets on the board right away with a 1-0 lead. Pydek put it right where Julian Greenwell wanted it, and Greenwell took great advantage of that one. Sailed it way over Trent Rice's head in right field. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is number 11, Sammy Sass, the catcher. That one is going to be placed well for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. That one's going to be 0-2. Off to a better start than the first one here for Hunter Pydek. 0-2 pitch down low for ball 1. Sammy Sass currently one of 2 Wright State Raiders batting above 400 on the year. So this is probably the best confidence booster for Hunter Pydek. That one is chopped down to shallow left field. That's going to be swung over to first for the first out of the top of the first inning. Nice job there by the shortstop, Sam Griffith, to track that ball, grapple it because it was bouncing, and swing it out to first. Up to bat now is the first baseman for Wright State, Jay Lucart. gave Oakland some trouble in the home series in Fairborn, Ohio. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be inside for ball 1. Pydek seems to be painting the corners especially well here in the Wright State game. That one's going to be a swing and a miss, and the fans are really rallying behind Hunter Pydek, hoping for his first win to start out the month of May. 1-1 swung out to left field, and that's going to travel foul. Going to bring the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Up high for ball 2. That's going to even up the count at 2. Hunter Pydek seems to be going at a pretty fast pace here. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be chopped. It's going to stay fair. Oh, and then it's going to roll foul right before rolling to first base. Luacar to go back in the batter's box and do it again. Jay Luacar currently batting .367 with 66 hits on the year, and he is tied for first in home runs. That one is cranked out to left field. It is going to travel foul again, just trying to fight off those pitches and avoid something catastrophic. Not exactly sure where he placed himself within the strike zone, but, within the batter's box. Not sure if he was crowding the plate a little bit. Seems to be backing off, opening up that strike zone a little bit more. Another 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be cranked foul again. One thing we've noticed in the Horizon League is offenses really want to get the opposing pitcher to extend their pitch count early. Helps them in the long run. Here's another 2-2. That's going to be traveled grounder to Sam Griffith. Swung out to first, and that's going to be another out for the Golden Grizzlies. 2 down now. Hunter Pydek seems to have recovered after that leadoff home run by Julian Greenwell. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is number 40, Ben Vore. The senior righty currently batting .333 on the year. That one's going to be a swing and a miss. Bring the count to 0-1. Hunter Pydek seems to be going faster than I can talk right now. Here's the 0-1. That's going to travel inside, and that's going to be ball 1. Even up the count here. 1-1, swung, and that's going to be a foul. Seems like it went off of Vore's foot. That can't feel good. Count is now 1-2. Wright State with the early 1-0 lead at the top of the first, but since then haven't been able to get on base. Good job fielding by the Oakland defense. 1-2. Outside, and that's going to retire Wright State at the top of the first. They are going to stay at a 1-0 lead, and Oakland will have a chance to respond at the bottom. Due up for the Golden Grizzlies is the center fielder Reggie Bussey, the left fielder John Lowinger, and the third baseman Brandon Nye. A little bit about this series so far. As we mentioned before, Wright State is first. For a while, they seem to be straggling at second, but after a series of poor performances by the Northern Kentucky Norse, seems like the Wright State Raiders have taken over that top spot. Seems like they belong there, and seems like they've lived there for the last couple of seasons, as Horizon League baseball seems to be on the rise with the improvement of programs such as Oakland, Northern Kentucky, and Wright State. Lot of great baseball in the mid-major conferences, and I can't wait to see what happens as the rest of the season shakes out. But for Oakland, this might be one of the few chances that they get to really put a dagger into Wright State's Horizon League lead and potentially make a running for that number 1 seed heading into the tournament. We are in May, so time's a ticking, and unfortunately Oakland didn't do themselves any favors by dropping the series at Youngstown. But if you're Oakland, This is where the real baseball starts to come out. I mean, it's going to start to become a little bit more competitive. On the mound for the Wright State Raiders is number 14, Jake Shirk. Pitched a lot against Oakland last year and pitched a lot against Oakland this year. A lot of action in less than 1 inning. Only had 1 out and allowed 7 runs for the Golden Grizzlies. Up to bat for Oakland is number 2, Reggie Bussey. First pitch is up high, and that's going to travel strike 1. Reggie Bussey, a lefty from Ohio, one of the top 4 on the team in batting averages. A check swing, deferred to the third base ump. The third base ump called it strike, so that's going to even up the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Shirk. Up high, and that's going to make the count 2-1. Shirk currently sitting at a 6.62 ERA with a 1.47 whip. Has started every game he's been in, so this has been a common thing for the Wright State Raiders. That one travels, and that's going to travel out to the left field beyond the left field line for foul. Going to even up the count at 2-2. On deck for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is number 7, John Lowinger. In the hole is number 13, Brandon Nye. 2-2 the count. Shirk anticipating what his catcher Sass is giving him. That one is going to be a swing and a miss, and Reggie Bussey goes down on a strikeout. Not exactly the start that Oakland wanted to this bottom of the first, but plenty of time to recover, only 1 down. Up to bat now for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is John Lowinger. Had a great game against the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons in Game 2 of the series here at Oakland University for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies to open up their Horizon League schedule. Here's the first pitch. That is going to straddle the strike zone, but the home base umpire is going to call it ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung out to right field. And the second baseman for the Wright State Raiders, Gregory, is able to get underneath it for the second out. Not enough power. Seemed to get the ball a little bit too low. And unfortunately, the second base was deep enough to make that read. Up to bat now is the righty, number 13, Brandon Nye. We've seen him straggle the number 3 and number 4 batting positions here for the Golden Grizzlies, so it'll be an interesting thing to see. That one chopped foul into the glove of Shirk, and that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 retirement of Oakland's offense. We're going to step aside here. 1-0 lead for the Wright State Raiders as we enter the second inning. You are going to be listening for the next couple hours to 88.3 FM WXOU. .3 FM WXOU. Wright State currently holds a 1-0 lead over the Oakland Golden Grizzlies as we start the second inning. In the batter's box for the Wright State Raiders is Boston Smith, the left fielder. Currently the count sits at 2-0. Smith seems to be challenging Pida quite a bit here. Here's the 2-0. Swung out to deep left field. Can the left fielder Lounger get it? No, he cannot. And that is another leadoff homer for the Wright State Raiders. That's going to make the lead 2-0 for the Wright State Raiders. Two bad leadoffs for Hunter Pidek to start this game, and Wright State has taken quick advantage of it here. Up to bat now for the Raiders is number 23, Andrew Patrick. One of the few seniors on this team, surprising considering how good this Wright State team is. That one bunted out to short left field. That's going to be swung over to first, and he is going to be safe, not in time. Wright State seems to be putting the hammer down on Oakland early. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is number 7, Patrick Fultz. On the season, Patrick Fultz seems to be hitting a .315 batting average on 39 hits. First pitch is in there for ball 1. A little bit high, rose up in the zone, and caught the edge of the strike zone there for ball 1. Pidek waiting for the signal. Tries the pickoff attempt, and he is going to be safe. Unsuccessful attempt there by Pidek. Runner on first. Another pickoff attempt by Pidek. Fumbled there by Lucas Day, but corralled it just in time to avoid Patrick advancing to second. 1-0 count now. Another pickoff attempt, and Wright State's dugout seems to be getting into and alerting Andrew Patrick of the attempt. That's 3 pickoff attempts now to first. 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. Fultz didn't seem to recognize where the trajectory of the pitch was going and unfortunately took that one for the first strike of the at-bat. 1-1 now the count. That one's high, and it's going to be swung back for foul. It's going to make the count 1-2, and all of a sudden, Fultz seems to find himself in a little bit of an interesting situation here. Not necessarily a situation for a double play here, but Hunter Pidek can do some damage. Patrick with the leadoff. Got back just in time with the pickoff attempt from Hunter Pidek. Pidek still surveying that first base. Seems Andrew Patrick was giving him some nightmares. That one's up high, really up high. Heidel had to frame that to avoid it going over his head, and that's going to be ball 2. (2-2) now the count. Another pickoff attempt. That's going to be number 4 out to first base to keep Andrew Patrick in check. Due up for the Wright State Raiders is the shortstop, Luke Arnold, and the second baseman, Gus Gregory. Neither of which we saw too much last year. That one's going to be ball 3, and that's going to fill up the count. No one down for the Wright State Raiders. 2-0 lead. Full count pitch. And that one is going to be right down the middle for strike 3. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is Luke Arnold. Arnold is currently batting .200 on the year, has had 13 starts and only 9 hits on the year. Perfect positioning if you're the Wright State skipper, Alex Sogard, to put in someone like Luke Arnold to give him a little bit of confidence there. That breaking ball is going to travel outside, and that's going to stay outside for ball 1. Patrick still on first. Lead off there. 1-0 swung deep out to center field. And that one's going to hit the fence. Can Bussey get it back in time? No, and now 2 runners are in scoring position for the Wright State Raiders. Still only 1 down. Oakland finds himself in another dangerous situation. Wright State is in a position to strike and potentially make this a 5-0 game. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is Gus Gregory. Sophomore is currently hitting .329 on the year, 82 at-bats, 27 hits, and 23 runs. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Oakland fans seem to like that one. 1 down, runners on second and third. 0-1 pitch, that's going to be swing and a miss. Bring the count to 0-2. On deck for Wright State is the leadoff man. Julian Greenwell hit the homer at the top of the first to open up the scoring for the Wright State Raiders. Here is the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be chopped foul. And Gus Gregory is going to keep his at-bat alive. Redshirt freshman from Strongsville, Ohio, 5'10", weighing 180, a little bit of a shrimpy guy for what has been a titanic baseball program down there in Fairborn, Ohio. In his last game, he went 2 for 3 against the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons. That one's going to travel short to right field, swung over to Lucas Day, and that's going to be out number 2. Another run will be brought home. That's going to make the score 3-0. Runner on third with Julian Greenwell up to bat. Hunter Pydek didn't seem to handle him too kindly in the first. Allowed a leadoff homer out to right field. That one's going to travel low. It's going to be ball 1. Catcher for Oakland, Brandon Heidel, wanted to swing it over to third base. Tried to keep the third base runner in check. 1-0 pitch swung out to right field into the glove of Trent Rice, and the Wright State offense is retired. Oakland has a chance to respond, but they've got their power hitters up and no one on base. Not exactly a favorable start for the Oakland offense. Reggie Bussey went down, and then with the way that the next 2 at-bats happened, grounder and then a foul out, Oakland's got to start to crank up the juice here on offense. You can subscribe to WXOU for more Oakland University Golden Grizzlies sports content. We've got live interviews, including a few that might be coming out shortly. We've got full game broadcasts, including basketball, volleyball, soccer, and previous baseball and softball games, as well as club hockey and club football. We've also got some player interviews with Oakland superstars such as Sidney Campbell, Trey Townsend, Ainsley Goosey, Blake Lampman, and Kennedy Montu. So continue to support student radio and student sports radio here at Oakland University as we continue to make strides in our coverage of Oakland Golden Grizzlies athletics. Due up for the Golden Grizzlies is number 8, Lucas Day, number 30, Brandon Heidel, and the second baseman, number 35, Carter Hain. Carter Hain has been one of the most steady Eddie guys for Jordan Banfield's offense, hitting .350 on the year and still leading the Oakland Golden Grizzlies in batting average. Has been doing so since last week against the Eastern Michigan Eagles, the last time that WXOU broadcasted an Oakland baseball game. In the batter's box right now is Lucas Day, the first baseman. Currently hitting .320 on the year with a .977 OPS. First pitch by Jake Shirk is down low for ball 1. Probably something thrown there to test Lucas Day. He is a power hitter, but given that his batting average is hovering around .320, seems like he does tend to get a little bit over-aggressive at times. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. Even up the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Day didn't want to swing at anything where he had to chase after that. 2-1 in there for strike 2, and Lucas Day is shaking his head and talking it through with the umpire and trying to recenter himself. 2-2, outside. Just outside for ball 3, and that's going to fill up the count really quickly here. 3-2. Bottom of the second, 3-0 lead for the Wright State Raiders. No one down yet for the Golden Grizzlies and no one on base. That one's going to be swung out to left field grounder, and Lucas Day is going to trot over to second base. And that's going to be a stand-up double on second base. Bring down the hammer. And on the year, Brandon Heidel has been hitting .331. Has had a pretty good season so far as the backstop for the Golden Grizzlies. Hopefully he'll continue to do so. Had an off performance on Wednesday against Bowling Green. Went 0 for 4. Before that, went 2 for 3 and 2 for 3 in the last 2 games against the Youngstown State Penguins. First pitch is going to be called ball by the home base umpire. Didn't exactly see where it was located, but obviously the home base umpire made the decision to call it ball. Shirk eyeing second base as he makes that pitch. That's going to be swung out to center field. The Wright State center fielder, Patrick, unable to get there, and that's going to advance runners to second and third. Another double for the Golden Grizzlies. And now, right when you need him, with 2 runners in scoring position, the best batter statistically on the team for Oakland, Carter Hain. Getting the signal from Jordan Banfield here before stepping into the batter's box. Went 1 for 4 against Bowling Green, and unfortunately hasn't had the consistent performance that he's had in the past few weeks. Shirk still eyeing second and third. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be swung. Carter Hain wanted a piece of that, but it's going to travel backwards for foul. Still no one down for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies offense. 3-0 lead for the Wright State Raiders. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That seemed to be traveling right down the middle, but swung a little bit too late there. That's Drew Heward first base coach Jared Helmick. Haynes swings that into the gap, and he is going to get on base, and he's going to bring home Lucas Day. So Oakland chips into this 3-0 lead and gets on the board. Runners on first and third now as Ian Cleary steps into the box. Grad student on this team for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, one of a few from Macomb, Michigan. 5'8", 180. Batting .290 on the year, so just hovering below 300. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action, but his at-bats have picked up as of late. That one's going to be in there for ball one. Went 0 for 2 in the Wednesday game against Bowling Green. So hopefully he can improve on that today. Another one down low for ball two. In the hole for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is Sam Griffith. On deck is Trent Rice. And we'll get to Trent Rice's story in a bit. There's a little bit of a tale here with the right fielder for Oakland. Here's the 2-0. That's going to be swung foul. Bring the count to 2-1. Brandon Heidel on third. Carter Hayne on first for Oakland. Off to a better start than they were at the bottom of the first here. 2-1. Pickoff attempt by Shirk is unsuccessful. Hayne safely returns to first base. A traditional positioning for the Wright State the Wright State infield. Second and shortstop are both on the edges of second base. That one's going to be up high for ball three, and that's going to bring the count to 3-1. 3-1. And that's going to be a walker for Ian Cleary. All right. Let's get into the story of Trent Rice. Ladies and gentlemen, Trent Rice is second in the NCAA in stolen bases. He has made his case for Freshman of the Year here in the Horizon League, and he is really trying to get that top spot in the NCAA. A man out in Wofford University currently holds that number one spot. We'll get his name in a bit. But Trent Rice has been chasing him all year, and this has been a thing here for Oakland. Getting Trent Rice on base is a very dangerous thing to do. Bases loaded for Oakland. Here's the first pitch. That one's going to travel grounder. No one's going to get it for Wright State, and that's going to bring home another run for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. That's going to be a 2-run RBI single for Trent Rice. Heidel and Carter Hayne come home, and that's going to even up the score at 3-3. Ian Cleary advances to third on that one. Trent Rice on first. And I wouldn't put it past Jake Shirk to be very wary of where Trent Rice is at all times in relative to the tag base. In the batter's box for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is the shortstop, number 1, Sam Griffith. As expected, Jake Shirk tries to make a pickoff attempt on Trent Rice. Still no one down for Oakland. Griffith batting .232 on the year, 142 at-bats, so he's one of the stalwarts for Oakland this year. 12 hits, but 22 runs. Seems to get on base a lot through other means. 2 pickoff attempts there, unsuccessful by Jake Shirk. Here's the first pitch. Sammy Sass wants to try a pickoff attempt of his own. Unsuccessful. That is number 3. Trent Rice seems to be trapped there with Jake Shirk having eyes in the back of his head. 1-0 the count for this at-bat for Sam Griffith. Another pickoff attempt swung out to first. Unsuccessful. This is probably going to be a common theme if Trent Rice gets on base throughout this game. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be strike 1. Even up the count at 1-1. Griffith receiving the signal from the skip. Down low in the stance now. Jake Shirk. Pickoff attempt number 5. No surprise, is unsuccessful. Cleary patiently waiting at third for his opportunity to come home to roost. 1-1 the count. Still no one down for Oakland. Here's the pitch. That's going to be swung foul back towards the hill behind the Oakland Baseball Field. Count is now 1-2. One, two the count now. Pickoff attempt 6 is unsuccessful. First base umpire renders Trent Rice safe. Freshman out of Macomb, Michigan, already making waves here in the Horizon League and already putting fear into the eyes of Horizon League pitchers. That one sails over Trent Rice's head. Maybe caught some contact, and that's going to walk him to first base. So now Jake Shirk is in a bind here with, again, bases loaded and Trent Rice behind him at second. Up to bat now. We are back at the top of the batting order for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Number 2, Reggie Bussey. Struck out at the bottom of the first here. Doesn't want to replicate that with 2 runners in scoring position and a great chance to take the lead here. First pitch in there for strike 1, right down the middle. Oakland crowd seems to be getting really into it. 0-1 pitch, swung, shallow, grounder, going to be swung out to first, but that's going to bring home Ian Cleary, and Oakland has a lead now. 4-3 Golden Grizzlies. John Lowinger steps into the batter's box. Had a foul out. Seems whatever coaching and teaching Jordan Banfield and company was doing after the bottom of the first with a 1-2-3 cleanup for the Wright State defense has really been taken to heart here, and they have really driven a stake into Wright State early. First pitch of the at-bat, well framed by Sammy Sass, but that's going to be outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count with 1 down for Oakland. Here's the 1-0. That's going to scratch Lowinger, but ump just calls it inside for ball. Ooh, said that caught the strike zone. That's going to be strike 1. Excuse me. Trent Rice on third. Sam Griffith on first. Some encouragement here from the Oakland audience for John Lowinger. 1-1 count with 1 down. Runners on second and third. Here's the 1-1. And that's going to be shaved back for foul. That's going to bring the count to 1-2. Lounger currently with a 919 OPS, 37 hits on the year. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Shallow out to the second baseman. That's going to be swung out to the first baseman for the Wright State Raiders, Jay Leucart, for out number 2. Up to bat now is number 13, the 3 batter, Brendan Nye. Again, with a runner on third, Trent Rice did end up scoring there, so that was a sac ground out. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. That's going to make the count 0-1. Two down now for the Grizzlies, 0-1 count. 5-3 lead. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be swung back foul. Strike 2. We've seen rallies by the Golden Grizzlies when they do have 2 outs before. This isn't a foreign concept for them, so the way that they've played thus far at the bottom of the second, you would think that they'd be a little bit energized, and something like a 2-out rally there, and that's going to be a strikeout, swing and a miss there for Brandon Nye, and that's going to retire the side. We are going to take a little break here from the Oakland Baseball Field. 5-3 lead. Oakland Golden Grizzlies make a storming comeback and really put the pressure on Wright State. You are listening to 88.3 FM WXOU, your home for Golden Grizzlies sports. And we are back here at the Oakland Baseball Field. Top of the third. Oakland currently leads 5-3 over the Wright State Raiders. In the batter's box for the Raiders is number 11, the catcher, Sammy Sass. 1-0 pitch swung up high. Reggie Bussey trying to track it. Gets underneath it, and that's going to be the first out. Very quick out number 1 here for the Golden Grizzlies. Stark difference from the first 2 innings with leadoff homers. Seems like Hunter Pydek is finding a comfort zone here. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders. Number 6, Jay Leucart, the first baseman. Grounded out to Sam Griffith in his first at-bat. Top of the first. First pitch by Pydek is in there for ball 1. Count is 1-0, 1 down for Wright State. 1-0 pitch swung again up high. Got a lot underneath it. Reggie Bussey again tracks it and gets it. Back-to-back pop flies out to center field for Wright State, and Reggie Bussey able to track it and do it well. 2 down now for the Wright State Raiders as number 40, Ben Vore, the right fielder for Wright State, comes into the box. struck out at the top of the first to retire the side for the Wright State Raiders. First pitch is in there for strike one. Pitch is coming hot and fast now, like a Little Caesars pizza from Hunter Pydek. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be chopped foul. Bring the count to 1-2. Notice I'm picking up the speed of my my commentating because Hunter Pydek is going very, very fast in between pitches. Here's the 1-2. Benvor has to move out of the way for that one. That's going to be ball 2. Even up the count at 2-2. With 2 down. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be chop foul. Tried to pull it out to left field. John Lowinger straddling in between left and center field right now, so something near the left field line would have been perfect. 2-2 pitch up high, going to be called ball 3, filling up the count 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Swung, and that's going to be a foul. Was very, very close to staying fair there. First base ump said otherwise. And Benvor is going to do it again. We had mentioned Benvor batting a .333 on the year. Senior from Lexington, Ohio. Didn't really get too many nods for Wright State last year, but seems to be getting an extended amount this year. 3-2 up high. Hunter Pydek calls it shallow. Griffith trying to track it, and does. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 for the Golden Grizzlies defense as we head back on offense. This quick turnaround must be beneficial for Oakland. We've talked about it a little bit before, and it more applies to later game situations, but you're starting to think with the way that Oakland has looked at this series and the way that, you know, these fans and the audience have put a lot of pressure on this series, that Oakland would start to pick up the tempo a little bit. Hunter Pydek came out of the gate very, very fast. Seemed to quicken up his pitch tempo quite a bit here from what we've seen earlier in the year. I do wonder how this is going to impact Oakland, if at all. This quick turnaround of a 1-2-3 and then all of a sudden getting right back on offense. It'll be interesting to see. Due up for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is Lucas Day, Brandon Hydal, and Carter Hain, all three of which got on base. They had the double to start the run for the Grizzlies at the bottom of the second. Again, we're seeing the benefits of being a power hitter from the first baseman Day here, and hopefully this is going to set a precedent for the rest of the game, because it's going to be important that Oakland gets out on a good note here against the Wright State Raiders. Sophomore lefty stepped into the batter's box now. Shirk's first pitch, swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike one. Lucas takes some time to recollect himself there. 0-1. Another swing and a miss down low. Would have stayed ball, but now Lucas Day's got to battle back from an 0-2 count here. Seen him do it. Not out of the question at all. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be down low and away for ball 1. Lucas Day wise not to make an attempt at that. One, two. Chop foul towards the Wright State dugout. Stayed foul there. And Lucas Day is going to get another 1-2 pitch from Jake Shirk here. Here's the 1-2, swung high, and that's going to be chased out by the left fielder, Boston Smith. He catches it right before it goes over the fence for foul, and that's going to be the first out of the bottom of the third here as Brandon Heidel steps into the batter's box. Had a great performance against Northern Kentucky in the rubber match here at the Oakland Baseball Field. Had a really critical hit that allowed Oakland to get back into a game that Northern Kentucky was offensively outperforming Oakland in. First pitch is in the strike zone for 0-1 count. Lucas Day retired, so only one down. Here's the 0-1. Oakland seems to be getting a little bit aggressive here. That's a swing and a miss. 0-2 now the count. Heidel takes some time to compose himself, stare at the left field, potentially telegraph something there. 0-2, swung high, and that's going to be chased by Sammy Sass. It's going to hit the bleacher, and Brandon Heidel is going to have another opportunity in the batter's box. Catcher for Wright State, Sammy Sass, tough as nails. Last year took a nasty hit and was down for what was a couple minutes. Got back up and got right behind the home plate again to finish out the game for the Wright State Raiders. Check swing there with that one. That's going to stay ball for. That's going to be ball number 1. 1-2 now the count for Brandon Heidel. Here's the 1-2. Outside. That's going to be ball 2. Even up the count at 2-2. Some chants going here from the Oakland faithful. 2-2. Swung, and seems like Brandon Heidel caught that one on his foot. It's going to be foul, and he's going to do it again. Some encouragement from the Oakland dugout. To this point, Jake Shirk has faced 13 batters, and his pitch count is at 43, right about where Horizon League pitchers usually hover, around 3-ish pitches per at-bat. Here's the 2-2. Swung, and that's going to be a grounder out to third base, and he is going to be safe at first. The third baseman for the Wright State Raiders, Fultz, couldn't get a good enough grasp on it to swing it out to Jay Lewicard at first, and Brandon Heidel gets a single and gets on base. Up to bat now is Carter Hain. Had the RBI single to drive in the run by Lucas Day. Here's the first pitch. Got the inside of the strike zone there, and that's going to bring an 0-1 count. Only one down so far for the Golden Gorillas at the bottom of the third. If you're Carter Hain, you want to put Brandon Heidel in scoring position with Ian Cleary up to bat. That one's going to be a foul, and it's going to be a base hit. Never crossed the foul line. Some confusion here. And Carter Hain is going to have to do that one again.
Reset, here we go.
All the confusion has been cleared up, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Heidel is still on first. Carter Hain is now sitting at an 0-2 count. It rolled foul. Here's the 0-2. Swing, and that is going to retire Carter Hain. Not exactly where Oakland wanted to be at this stage in the game. Probably wanted to put, at the very least, Brandon Heidel in scoring position at second or at third. But it seems like Ian Cleary is going to have to do some dirty work now as he steps into the batter's box. Had a particularly long at-bat at the bottom of the second for the walker to get on base. Was brought all the way home. First pitch swung. Seemed like he got some decent contact on that, but it's going to be a foul. Go 0-1 now the count. 2 down for the Golden Grizzlies. 0-1. That's going to be called strike 2. Brandon Heidel advances to second. Says he's going to do it himself and gets there safely. Third base umpire called it safe. And so now Heidel in scoring position for the Golden Grizzlies gets himself in a spot where Ian Cleary can do some magic here. Another 0-2 count for these Grizzlies seems to be a commonplace thing here at the bottom of the third. 2 down. Here's the pitch. Up high. Ball 1. Oakland still holds a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the third. On deck for the Golden Grizzlies is number 3, Trent Rice. In the hole is the shortstop, Sam Griffith. That one's going to be a swing and a miss, but he's going to try to travel to first, and that's going to retire the side. Brandon Heidel left on base there. 5-3 lead for the Golden Grizzlies as we enter the top of the fourth. We are going to step aside here on 88.3 FM, WXOU. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to 88.3 FM, WXOU on YouTube. 5-3 lead for the Golden Grizzlies as we enter the top of the fourth. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is number 18, the left fielder, Boston Smith. First pitch is down low. 1 for 1 today. Got the RBI. Got the homer. 1-0 pitch. Travels out deep to left field. It's going to hook foul. It's going to bring the count to 1-1. Looking at the defensive comparison for these two teams, seems pretty similar. A chop foul by Boston Smith out to right field, easily corralled by Lucas Day, and Smith is retired. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is Andrew Patrick. Frustrated Hunter Pydek after getting on base. Frequent and 100% unsuccessful pickoff attempts. First pitch caught foul there. Bringing count to 0-1 with one down for the Wright State Raiders. 0-1. Pitch down low, and that's going to be ball one. Ball one. Both teams, here's the deck built at the top of the thing. You want Luke here. Not that that would happen in one at bat, but a series of unfortunate events may happen. 3-1 pitch. Catches on the inside, and that's going to walk Andrew Patrick. So Andrew Patrick gets on base for the second time today. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders is number 7, the third baseman, Patrick Fultz. Oh for 1 today, was struck out looking by Hunter Pydek. Here's the first pitch. That's going to kiss the dirt there. And it's going to be outside for ball 1. Patrick with the leadoff from first. Thinks about it again, and there's going to be some discussion here on the mound for Oakland. Obviously, this is a crucial situation for Oakland. Top of the 4th. You've built some momentum offensively. You were able to get on base at the bottom of the 3rd, to say the least, and you were able to do some cleanup work at the top of the 3rd defensively. So this is a really important series now, because this could set the precedent for how long Hunter Pydek could keep going on the mound for Oakland. Quick mound meeting there. Probably just a talking to, getting Hunter Pydek's head on right. 1 down for the Wright State Raiders. Count stands at 1-0 for Patrick Fultz. Pydek keeping an eye on first base there. Here's the 1-0. Pydek pointing to the sky. Is it going to be another bussy track? Yes, it is. That's another 1 down for the Wright State Raiders. Patrick stranded on first there. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders. Luke Arnold, the shortstop. Two down now for the Wright State Raiders. With Arnold up to bat. Patrick on first. Here's the pitch. Swung deep out to left field. That is going to land where Launger couldn't get it. Tries to swing it out to second, and that's going to be a double for Lucas Arnold. Runners in scoring position now for Wright State at second and third, with Gus Gregory, the 9-hitter, up to bat.
Gus Gregory.
0-1 on the day for the lefty 9-hitter. Grounded out to second base, but did bring home a runner as a sac ground. First pitch is going to be down low. Seems like Hunter Pydek really wants to get that low edge of the strike zone. Hasn't been able to find it properly, or consistently rather. 1-0. That's the 1-0 pitch, going to be up high. Again, going to paint the outside top corner of the strike zone for ball 2. Runners on second and third for the Wright State Raiders. That one is in there for strike two, strike one, right down the middle. Gregory didn't see it and didn't recognize it. 2-1 now the count. That's going to be chopped out to second base, swung over to first. Going to bring home a runner, and it's going to keep Gus Gregory safe. 5-4 now the lead for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies with runners on first and third. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders, number 55, Julian Greenwell. Had the homer to lead off the top of the first, and then got out in his second at-bat. Here's the first pitch. That's going to paint the top edge, but it's going to roll up high for ball one. 1-0 now the count with 2 down, runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. Placed right inside the strike zone. Caught the outside. Going to bring the count to 1-1. It is amazing what Wright State has been able to do. That one out to Griffith for the third out. Swings it out to Carter Hain. Retires the side. Oakland's defense stops the bleeding there and retains the lead as Oakland's offense gets set to potentially put an extension on that lead. Due up for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Number 3, Trent Rice. Number 1, the shortstop, Sam Griffith. And then back up to the top of the order, Reggie Bussey. Reggie Bussey currently on the team high 5-game hitting streak, as is Trent Rice. Trent Rice preserves that, but Reggie Bussey still has yet to get on base. Right behind them is Carter Hain. Now, we're seeing something similar in their performance, probably a little bit more stretched out than the one we saw at Oakland from Jake Shirk. He has allowed 5 runs in 1 inning, but he has blanked Oakland at the bottom of the first and the bottom of the third. So an up-and-down performance for the righty on the mound for the dirty green and yellow. Oakland in their pearly whites. Wright State looking like the Oakland A's right now with the green and yellow and then the white panning. Up to bat now, number 3, Trent Rice. To no one's surprise, if he gets on base again, Jake Shirk is going to have his eyes on him. Normal fielding location for the Wright State Raiders on both sides of second base. First one down low and outside for ball one. Going to bring the count to 1-0. 1-0 pitch here from Shirk. Going to be right inside for strike one. Bring the count to 1-1. As we mentioned before, Trent Rice and Reggie Bussey both have a 5-game hitting streak. That one grounded out to the shortstop and swung out to Jay Lewicart for the first out. Up to bat now for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is number 1, the shortstop, Sam Griffith. Was hit by the pitch, got all the way to third base, just could not be brought home. The bottom of the second. Stranded on base. Hopefully he can do some more here and get some pointage for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. That one down low for ball 1. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be a swing and a miss for Sam Griffith. Shirk's pitch count nearing 60 now with 16 batters faced. Here's the 1-1. Over the head of Jake Shirk into the hands of the shortstop for the Wright State Raiders and swung out to Jay Lewicart for out number 2. Oakland's having a hard time getting on base at the bottom of the 4th here. In the batter's box now, back at the top of the order, is the leadoff hitter, number 2, Reggie Bussey. Still looking for his first contact of the baseball that hasn't resulted in an out or a foul. 2 down now for the Grizzlies, 5-4 lead. Here's the pitch. Rose up high. Strike 1. Seemed like Shirk wanted that pitch to sit a little bit later in the throw. 1-0 swung out. Seemed encouraging at first as it was traveling out to left field, but hooked quickly, and that's going to be foul. Bring the count to 1-1. 2 down now for the Golden Grizzlies, 1-1 the count. Bussey flashes bunt, not an uncommon thing for Oakland's leadoff hitter to do. Pulls it back just in time, ball 2. Shirk sitting at a 2-1 count here. That one is swung foul, pushed by Reggie Bussey out to left field. It's going to even up the count at 2-2. Reggie Bussey hopes to improve on the last 2 at-bats where didn't really get anything. Here's the 2-2. That swung out to left field, doesn't sit in time, into the glove of the left fielder, Smith, and that's going to retire the side. We are going to take a break here from the Oakland Baseball Field. You will be able to catch more Golden Grizzlies baseball action as we head into the top of the 5th. We will return with Golden Grizzlies baseball action here on 88.3 FM WXOU. Welcome back. You are listening to 88.3 FM, WXOU. Top of the 5th inning, Oakland holds a 5-4 lead over the Wright State Raiders as we enter the back half of play. 0-1 now the count. Sammy Sass digs that one out of the dirt. That's going to be foul. Bring the count to 0-2. 0-2 on the day for Sammy Sass. Grounder out to the shortstop, Sam Griffith, and then a fly out to center field, Reggie Bussey. One of many that Reggie Bussey has had to track there from the center field position. That one's going to be in there for ball 1, and that's going to bring the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Down low again. Well framed by Brandon Heidel. to avoid it going back. Going to even up the count here at 2 apiece. 2-2. Swung out to left field, right into the glove of Sam Griffith. And Sammy Sass goes down again. Into the batter's box now for the Wright State Raiders, Jay Lukart. Senior lefty, third position in the Wright State batting order, but 0-2 on the day, not the day that Lukart was coming out here expecting to have. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be down low for ball 1. 1-0 now the count for Oakland. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Jay Lukart. That's going to even up the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Jay Lukart has to move out of the way for that one. That's going to be ball 2. 2-1. Swung out to shallow right field. Swung out to Lucas Day at first. That's going to bring down Jay Lukart. Both Sass and Lukart at the 2 and 3 hitter positions. 0-3 on the day. Into the batter's box now, the righty, senior righty, Ben Vore. Another 0-2. That one is going to be called ball. 1-0 pitch here. Check swing, deferred to the first base ump. He is going to call it ball as well. Bring up a 2-0 count. We've seen Hunter Piddock battle back. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss by Ben Vore. And we saw Ben Vore go down on strikes at the top of the first, so no stranger to doing that in this game. That one's going to be close and to the dirt near Ben Vore for ball 3. Bring the count to 3-1. Here's the 3-1. And that's going to be a walker for Ben Vore. He is going to get on first base with 2 down. Not a lot of margin for error for Wright State. But then again, this is not something that is characteristic to both the Raiders and the Northern Kentucky Norse. We mentioned what's at stake for Oakland in this game. They have a chance to continue their push for that number 1 seed. If not, they're pretty much locked in at number 3. That one is going to be outside for ball 1. Oakland made a late season push in 2023 to overcome the Northern Kentucky Norse and get the number 2 seed. 1-0 pitch. Boston Smith's going to have to move out of the way of that one. That's going to bring the count to 2-0. Hunter Piddock picking up the speed now as if there was any more left to pick up. That wild pitch is going to allow Ben Vore to advance to second, and that's going to bring up a 3-0 situation for Hunter Piddock. A lot of encouragement from the Oakland bench for coming into the season what was thought to be the burgeoning ace for these Golden Grizzlies. 3-0, outside, Walker. Boston Smith gets on first base with Ben Vore on second. That's going to bring in Andrew Patrick to the batter's box. Had the hit, the single at the at the top of the second, and then had a walk at the top of the fourth. Was brought home both times by the rest of the Wright State batting lineup. Seems like ever since Oakland went 2 down, Wright State went 2 down, they've been able to muster something here with runners on first and second. You've got an interesting situation for scoring position as Andrew Patrick has a discussion with his third base coach. And Heidel and Pydek follow suit there. Ump signals if everyone is ready. Got some action in the Oakland bullpen. Still no one for the Raiders. Here's the pitch. Swung really high up, and Heidel trying to track it now. Switching over to Nye. Nye gets it in his glove, and that's going to retire the side for for Wright State. They come up with donuts for the second time today. 3 of the 5 innings for Wright State, they've come up with runs, but ever since 3 runs to start the first 2 innings hasn't really worked out in Wright State's favor, and they've been fortunate that Oakland's offense hasn't been able to catch fire. Notes from the motherboard. Jake Reading hosts Notes from the Motherboard. Mondays, 7 to 9 on WXOU. It's free-form programming dedicated to underground rock, psych, progressive rock, garage, punk, folk, and funk. He's got stuff you've never heard before and some stuff you'd like to hear once. You can jam with Jake right here on WXOU. Funny story about Jake Reading. WXOU alumni, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, very cordial. Allowed us to forsook his show during the Horizon League basketball tournament. Wished us nothing but good luck. I promise you not, this guy has found music that no one has ever heard of, not even Shazam. A lot of it, I'm not going to lie, I'd put on my Spotify playlist if it was on Spotify. But you got to give credit to the research that Jake Reading does for his show and bringing in music that no one has ever heard before and staying consistent with that. As we return to action at the bottom of the 5th here, John Lounger in the batter's box with his patent low batter stance. That one is swung out to the third baseman. Easy to Jay Lewicart, and that's going to be first out for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Up to bat now for the Grizzlies, number 13, Brandon Nye. Nye's been one of the best hitters of this team, batting .300 on the year, and also one of the most aggressive. If there was anyone you could count on to make a play here, it's someone who's been in this Golden Grizzlies program before and knows Coach Banfield's signals like the back of his hand. Count is 1-0 for Brandon Nye. That one into the glove of the third baseman for the Wright State Raiders, Fultz. Another swing out to Jay Lewicart. And that's very quickly 2 down for the Golden Grizzlies as Lucas Day steps into the batter's box. 1 for 2 today. Had the double at the bottom of the 2nd, but grounded out to right field. Hopefully wants to get some of that second inning energy back for the Golden Grizzlies. Potentially spark a 2-out rally here. Shirk still on the mound for the Wright State Raiders. Here's the pitch. That's going to paint the top left corner if you're behind the catcher for ball 1. Didn't want to swing at something he had to chase. That one swung right at Shirk, bounces off his foot, right into the glove of the second baseman, Gregory. Swings it out to Lewicart, and that's going to retire the side for the Golden Grizzlies. Quick 5th inning defensively for the Wright State Raiders, and they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We are going to step aside here from the Oakland Baseball Field. We will be right back on 88.3 FM WXOU. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to 88.3 FM, WXOU. Top of the 6th inning now. Quick game here at the Oakland Baseball Field. 5-4 lead for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Hunter Pydak has done the work he needs to do. Compared to the last couple of starts for the junior pitcher from Troy, Michigan, he's done a pretty good job, I gotta say. Only 4 earned runs on 6 hits. That's pretty good work from a guy who hasn't had the best of luck. On the mound now for the Golden Grizzlies is the reliable closer, number 42, Brandon Decker. 5.51 ERA, 128 WHIP, 21 appearances, 11 games start. We talked to him a little bit earlier in the year. He was the reliever of the year last year for the entire Horizon League, and now he's getting some starting pitching nods. And it's interesting to see how much your mentality and how much your pitching style changes as you grow into a starting pitcher role. In the batter's box for the Wright State Raiders, Patrick Fultz. 0 for 2 today. The sophomore 7-hitter has not been his day. Count is 2-2. Patrick Fultz sporting the number 7 jersey. The 2-2 pitch outside for strike 3. Didn't seem like Fultz recognized it was on the outside of the strike zone. Didn't swing, and he was caught looking there. That's his second time today. 1 down now, early for the Wright State Raiders. In the batter's box is number 16, Arnold. 2 for 2 today, 2 doubles. Has not been able to come home to roost, and if you're the Wright State Raiders, you might want to think about bringing this guy home, because I think he's starting to be a little bit homesick here. Count is 0-2. Brendan Decker getting to work very, very quickly here. We've seen him do some pretty interesting stuff as a starter. Haven't really seen him as a broadcaster this year do too much in the relief role. Count is now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swung by Arnold out to left field. Brandon Nye, shallow, able to get it. That's going to retire Arnold, and he's not going to get home. And now I might start to feel a little bit sad for the guy. Number 9 hitter in the batter's box now, Gus Gregory, sophomore lefty. 1 for 2 today. So not necessarily the luck that Arnold has had getting on base, but Oakland has struggled with the bottom parts of a lot of their Horizon League batting lineups. We saw in the Northern Kentucky series, John Odom hit a pair of homers in the first game where Northern Kentucky battered Oakland 24-3. Count is 1-1 off a swing and a miss by Gregory. Getting a little bit eager there with 2 down. No one on base. Here's the pitch. Well placed. Tried to challenge Gregory there. To no avail. Ball 2. Gonna make the count 2-1. Here's a 2-1. In there for strike 2. Decker checking his wristband for the coach's call. 2-2. Swung out directly to Lucas Day. Easily puts his left foot on first, retires the side for the Wright State Raiders, and Oakland is back on offense. Due up for the Golden Grizzlies, number 30, Brandon Heidel, 2 for 2 today with a double. Carter Hain with the RBI, and then Ian Cleary got the walk, and then unfortunately couldn't make anything of his second at-bat. This is not necessarily the start that Wright State wanted, especially with the way that Oakland has started a lot of their, we've said this as a broken record now, a lot of their Horizon League series, they haven't really started it out on the right foot. And with almost 6 away, Wright State's currently looking at on the wrong end of a 5-4 score line. Looks like Jake Shirk is still on the mound for the Wright State Raiders. Pitch count is currently at 73. Batter's face is 22, so again, right around where he wants it to be. And right around where these Horizon League coaches tend to like their starting pitchers. Up to bat now for the Golden Grizzlies, number 30, Brandon Hydal. Had the doubler at the bottom of the second and then had a single that he advanced all the way to second and then couldn't be brought home at the bottom of the third. And now gets a chance to make it 3 for 3 today and get another shot at putting Oakland in a scoring position and adding to the cushion. First pitch, down and away, ball 1. Hydal, one of many players on this team from Oakland. That one swung out to left field, and it's not going to be able to be tracked by the left fielder, and that's going to be a doubler for Brandon Hydal. Once again, make him 3 for 3 on the day. Seems like the California genes that Brandon Hydal possesses from growing up in Anaheim, California, and playing the California style of baseball seems to be shining here today. Forecast said it was raining, but the sun is making an appearance right now, and weather's starting to pick up. The temperature's starting to be a little bit warmer. This is great baseball weather right now. In the batter's box for the Golden Grizzlies is Carter Hayne. Had a great RBI single at the bottom of the second, and then unfortunately was struck out the bottom of the third. Flash bunt, pulled it back just in time. Caught the outside edge of the strike zone. That's going to be ball 1. Shirk seems to be finding and losing the edge of the strike zone. Third base umpire calls time. Seems like there's a stoppage in play. 1-1 now the count. Flashing bunt again with Brandon Hydal on second. Pulls it back just in time, and that's going to be ball number 2. Hydal not getting the leadoff he wants to advance to third there. But it seems like there's been a shift. Both the first and the third are playing closer to home plate. That bunt is flashed back, and Sammy Sachs takes another one there. Count is 2-2. Just walking that one off. Jordan Banfield comes out to talk to his second baseman, puts his arm around him. This stoppage in play is brought to you by Chelsea's Corner. Do you like indie music? Well, so do we here at WXOU. Join DJ Chelsea, the music director at WXOU, for talk about the newest in indie and college-centric music, including music news, reviews, top 30 records, live interviews, and more. Chelsea's Corner, Thursdays at noon on WXOU. Still have not resumed play, and now we have 2-2 the count. Energy from the Oakland crowd starting to pick up a little bit. Two. That's going to be in there for strike 3, and Carter Hayne is going to be retired once again. That's the first out. Out the bottom of the 6th. Runner in scoring position with Brandon Heidel getting his doubler. And Ian Cleary up to bat now. 0-1 on the day. Had the walk in his first at-bat. First pitch here, chopped foul. That's going to bring the count to 0-1. One down here. Bottom of the 6th. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 2. Not sure if the mics picked it up, but it seemed like the family of Ian Cleary was shouting Dr. Cleary. If nothing else, Ian Cleary is an inspiration to all those pre-meds out there. He plays Division I baseball and has maintained a stellar GPA, got accepted into the University of Michigan Medical School, and will be starting in September. So hats off to Ian Cleary for paving the way and being a role model for all pre-meds out there. Count is 1-2 now. Shirk's pitch count has crossed the 80 pitch threshold. Heidel steals. And he is going to be out. Caught just in time. Had to refer to the first base ump there. And that's going to bring about the end of the 6th inning. That is Oakland's 4th straight inning with no runs. We're going to step aside here on 88.3 FM WXOU. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to 88.3 FM WXOU. Top of the 7th here at the Oakland Baseball Field. 5-4 is still the score here. Oakland Golden Grizzlies lead. In the batter's box for the Wright State Raiders, number 55, Julian Greenwell. Had the leadoff homer at the top of the 1st to start the game, but since then, a fly out and a ground out. Count is 1-1 right now. Brandon Decker is still on the mound for the Grizzlies. Here's the 1-1. Swung out to center field. Great grab by Carter Hayne. Oh, it looked like he had it. That would have been a spectacular catch. But Carter Hayne couldn't grab it. And Greenwell gets to first base. Sammy Sass now up to bat. 0 for 3 today. Couple of grounders and a fly out. Wants to change it. First pitch there swung foul. Not necessarily the stat line you'd think you'd see from a guy who hits above 400 on the season. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung foul, and that's going to bring the count to 0-2. And just like that, Sammy Sass is in Yet another pickle. Julian Greenwell lead off from first. Decker not checking. Here's the pitch. Up high. Ball 1. That's going to bring the count to 1-2. I have found the name of number 1 in stolen bases. He does play for Wofford. His name is Marshall Toole. That one is inside for ball 2. He currently has 36 stolen bases. Trent Rice is tied now with Jackson Strong from Canisius. Pickoff attempt for Julian Greenwell unsuccessful. Couldn't get there in time. Seemed like a smart decision. 2-2 now the count. Two-two pitch. Swung into right center field. Reggie Bussey must scoop it up. Greenwell rounds third, and he is going to stay there. That is a single for the Wright State Raiders, with runners advancing to third. Runners on first and third now for the Wright State Raiders. Still no one down. They're in a dangerous position now to put the pressure on Oakland. Up to bat now. Third in the lineup for the Wright State Raiders, number 6, Jay Lukart. Sammy Satz gets his first hit on the day after a slow start. Can Jay Lukart reflect what his catcher did? First pitch is up high for ball number 1. Count is 1-0. Still no one down with runner on first and third. One-0. Swung, chop foul. Backwards. Bring the count to 1-1. Lukart gets set in the batter's box. Here's the 1-1. That's up high, and that seems deeper. Right into the glove of Reggie Bussey. Trying to beat the runner at home. But Greenwell gets home to roost, and that's going to be the tying run of the game at the top of the 7th here. 5-5 now the score. Wright State and Oakland are in a deadlock. In the batter's box now, number 40, Ben Vore, senior. 0-2, got walked. Here's the first one. Swing and a miss. Big wave there. Really tried to commit to the power shot, and unfortunately couldn't get the contact he needed. Wild pitch there, and that's going to be an outer at second. That's going to bring up the second out of the at-bat. Lukart tried to be a little bit Sass tried to be a little bit fancy schmancy there, and it cost him. And that's going to be 2 down now for Wright State. No one on base. 1-1. Swung out to right field, deep right field. Rice gets it to Sam Griffith, and he gets Ben Vore out. That's going to retire the side for the Wright State offense. Decker minimizes the damage, keeps it at 1 run by Julian Greenwell. Oakland defense has gone cold since a marvelous 5-run bottom of the second. They're going to need to get something together here in order to break the ice that Wright State has frozen at the top of the 7th with the 1 run to tie up this Game 1. We've talked a lot about how good Wright State is, and we mentioned earlier that they're also a super young team. Yes, the top 4 of their batting order are seniors, but they do have a fair number of freshmen and sophomores in the rotation as well that have played roles for this Wright State team. And if you look back to last year when how many freshmen there were, and for Wright State to advance to the NCAA tournament and make some moves and, again, be the representative of the Horizon League tournament on the national stage is a testament to the program that Wright State University has built around their baseball team. Jake Shirk is still on the mound, 7 innings in with an 84 pitch count. He's getting ready to face Trent Rice. On deck will be Sam Griffith, and in the hole will be the 0-3 Reggie Bussey, looking for his first hit of the day. Entering the batter's box now is Trent Rice. Had the single at the bottom of the second, but grounded out the bottom of the fourth. So, again, one of the many Oakland baseball batters that have tried to resurrect what they did at the bottom of the second. This Oakland baseball team is no stranger to high-scoring games. They just finished a postponed game against Bowling Green. Took that one 21-18, and then unfortunately could not finish the full game. Fell 19-8 to the top seed and the top dog in the MAC with the Bowling Green State Falcons. That one has traveled out to left field, grounded, and Trent Rice, speedy, goes to first. And he's going to stay there. His helmet flew off. He was flying so fast. And once again, Oakland finds himself in a familiar position where they've gotten runners on base early, but just have not been able to bring them home. They lose steam as the inning progresses. In the batter's box now is Sam Griffith, 0 for 1 on the day, looking for a hit here against Jake Shirk. Pickoff attempt for Trent Rice unsuccessful. We talked about earlier, if Trent Rice gets on base, you know that the Wright State pitchers are going to be all over him, trying to contain him on base. Another pickoff attempt, to no one's surprise, and that one's unsuccessful. Just keeps going back and forth there. Eyes it again. Trent Rice, a fairly large leadoff there. And that pitch catches Griffith in the back. That's got a sting, but Griffith gets rewarded with the walker. And now Reggie Bussey, again with runners on first and second, has a chance to smash something home. Still 0 for 3 on the day, looking for his first hit, as we mentioned earlier. And this would be the perfect time if you're Reggie Bussey to also get your first home run of the year. In 177 at-bats, Reggie Bussey has yet to hit one that cleared the wall. Not necessarily the most surprising thing, considering he is only a sophomore and was the 9-hitter in last year's Oakland Golden Grizzly Horizon League runner-up squad. But what has been amazing about this Golden Grizzlies team is how they've been able to easily recover from losing a plethora of amazing senior and junior hitters. That one bunted out close. Going to be swung out to first. Not in time. Reggie Bussey gets on base, and the bases are loaded. John Lowinger now in a position to do some serious damage with 2 runners in scoring position. Griffith on second, and the base stealer Trent Rice on third. The energy is picking up. It is palpable here at the Oakland Baseball Field. Lowinger, like Bussey, looking for his first hit on the day with this 4th at-bat against Jake Shirk. Low batting stance here. Takes that one for strike 1. Still no one down for Oakland. And a great start to this 7th inning offensively. Another low stance here by Lowinger. That one swung right into the glove of the third baseman. Some applause there by the Oakland faithful. Seemed like it was a good plan. Tried to pull it out to left field. Didn't recognize how deep and close to the left field line the third baseman, Patrick Fultz, was, and got it right into his glove. No one else was out, so there's only one down now for the Grizzlies. And Brandon Nye is up in the batter's box. Lowinger still hungry for his first. Can Nye get his first here at the bottom of the 7th in a really crucial moment? And we've seen it. It's baseball. Stuff can happen. Late game rallies can occur. So I wouldn't put it out of the question. Count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swung and a foul. Every pitch now starting to become all that more important. Considering that Shirk has now eclipsed the 90 pitch count mark, what he has done from the bump has been incredible. 1-1 the count now. Here's the pitch down low. Ball number 2. Haven't had too many extended at-bats at the bottom of the 7th. Seems like a lot of these Oakland pitchers have been, Oakland hitters have been able to get on base fairly quickly in their at-bats. 2-1. Shallow. Can Trent Rice get there? Yes, he can. Brandon Nye unable to get there in time, but Oakland gets the lead back. Bussey and Griffith in scoring position now. 2 down for the Grizzlies with Lucas Day heading into the batter's box. Slow start for Lucas Day, but got a hit. Can he do something here? At the bottom of the 7th. Shirk still on the mound, almost facing 30 batters up to this point. Here's the pitch. That's going to catch the outside of the strike zone. Ump is going to call it strike 1. 0-1 the count now. On the count. Here's the pitch. That swung out to the second baseman. Easily swung over to Lewicart for the 3rd out. Well, Sam Griffith and Reggie Bussey were stranded on base. But Oakland was able to break the ice that Wright State created at the top of the 7th here. We are going to step aside, and we will be right back here at the Oakland Baseball Field with 8th inning action. You are listening to 88.3 FM WXOU. Welcome back, everyone. 8th inning action here at the Oakland Baseball Field. You are listening to 88.3 FM WXOU Sports on YouTube. Brendan Decker still on the mound for the Golden Grizzlies. In the batter's box for the Wright State Raiders, number 18, Boston Smith. 1 for 3 here today. Had the homer at the top of the second. One of 2 leadoff homers in this game for the Wright State Raiders, but hasn't been able to do too much since. 0-1 pitch swung, and that's going to be a foul. Bring the count to 0-2. While Brandon Decker gets settled, let me tell you about the JOMO Show, your home for all Oakland sports and beyond on 88.3 FM. The JOMO Show frequently features weekly coverage of Golden Grizzly, NCAA club sports, as well as the Detroit Lions and the NFL, with interviews each week with everybody involved in athletics, from athletes to coaches to staff and even broadcasters. Listen Mondays at noon or at any time on whatever you get your podcast. Just search the GIOMO Show. 2-2 now the count. Here's the 2-2 pitch by Decker. That's going to catch the outside of the strike zone, filling up the count 3-2. This game is getting stand-worthy, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sitting all game, but now I think it's time to stand. That's a swing and a miss, and Boston Smith is retired. 1 down now for the Wright State Raiders. In the batter's box for the for the Wright State Raiders, number 23, Andrew Patrick. Gave Oakland some trouble in the second and the fourth with a single that came home and a walk that came home, respectively, but then flew out at the top of the fifth. That one swung out to left field, easily swung over to Lucas Day. That is out number 2 for the top of the 8th here. Very quickly, Wright State's offense finds themselves in a bind here. In the batter's box, the third baseman, Patrick Fultz. Still looking for his first hit on the day. First pitch is a swing and a miss. 0-1 now the count. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be strike 2. Well placed there by Decker. Seemed low, but caught the edge of the strike zone. Ump agreed with Decker. And that's an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2. Down low, and that's going to be ball 1. Tried to get Patrick Fultz to swing at something there. You know he's probably hungry for a hit here. As the late stages of the game occur, his chances are going to dwindle. I would say there is a pretty good chance that this might be Patrick Fultz's last chance at getting a hit here. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2. Up high, and that's going to even up the count at 2-2. These last 2 pitches have just been trying to test where Patrick Fultz's head is. That is going to be shallow grounder out to right field. Swung over to first base, and that's going to be the third out needed by Oakland. So now, Wright State gets one more turn at offense at the top of the 9th to do something here, and they're going to have to wait to see what they have to do on the hitting side of things as Oakland gets to take the field on offense. Due up for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is Brandon Heidel, Carter Hain, and Ian Cleary. Heidel has been Mr. Consistent today. A double in the second and in the 6th, as well as a single in the 3rd. Has not been brought home since the 2nd, so you know that they're probably going to look to bring some of these runners home. This is what Oakland tends to do. They get hot early, get runners on base, but unfortunately lose that steam, as we said earlier. And unfortunately, a lot of runners are left on base by the time that third out strikes. Both teams have been hitting fairly similarly. Wright State currently hitting 267. Golden Grizzlies hitting 290. 3 walks for the Wright State Raiders, only 1 for Oakland. 6 strikeouts for Oakland, 4 for the Wright State Raiders. I think the difference has been when runners are in scoring position, Oakland seems to be almost 100 points better than Wright State. 308 for Oakland as opposed to the 200 for Wright State. Now, this is skewed because Oakland has had 13 runners in scoring position and has only clocked in on 4, whereas the Wright State Raiders have only had 5 runners in scoring position and only clocked in once. A huge offensive series by Wright State early on gave them a 3-0 lead, and then Oakland came storming back in the second. Wright State was able to tie the game at the top of the 7th, but Oakland broke the ice with the bottom of the 7th turn. That shot is out to left field. Looked like it was going over the fence. It did go over the fence, but unfortunately it's the wrong fence. It's the left field fence, and that's going to be called foul. 0-1 now the count for Brandon Heidel. No. 0-1 pitches in there for strike 2. A little bit of a scoreboard malfunction here. Let's see if they get this sorted out. 0-2 pushed foul towards the right field. And Brandon Heidel's going to do it again.
Here we go.
Pitching change for the Wright State Raiders. Jake Shirk. A good pull there from Brandon Heidel gets him on base, and that's going to be 4 for 4 on the day. Excuse me. That was a very necessary play to keep Oakland alive. They don't have anyone down, but at least generating that offense and getting runners in on base is crucial at this stage. To replace Jake Shirk on the mound is Garrett Peters, 476, 162 whip, 20 appearances, but has not gotten the starting nod for Wright State this year. In the batter's box now for Oakland is number 35, Carter Hain. Had a great start to his at-bats, but has slowed down quite a bit. That one's in there for ball, bring the count to 1-0. 1-0 is swung shallow to right field. 3 Wright State fielders are going after it. It's going to clear the fence and go for foul. That's going to even up the count at 1-1. Brandon Heidel on first. Hain able to get back and do it again. Still got some opportunities to make some damage here. If you're Oakland, you are in the driver's seat, but never count this Wright State offense out. You want to put them in a bind here as they head into the top of the 9th. We've seen some really, really crazy stuff happen at the Oakland Baseball Field in late game situations, so you don't want to be in a scenario where you're only having a 1-run cushion and Wright State gets that 2-run lead and forces you to execute your offense. That one swung out to the shortstop, and Carter Hain is again retired. That's the second batter down at the bottom of the 8th. Heidel is still on first. In the batter's box now for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, number 9, Ian Cleary. You can tell the energy is starting to pick up here. Everyone's kind of crowding around the netting here, just waiting in anticipation. First pitch is up high, and that's going to be ball one. (1-0) the count with only one down here for the Golden Grizzlies. Here's the pitch. Swing. That is going to be way foul. Left fielder Boston Smith seemed to be going for it, but not even close. He couldn't even make an attempt. He made a leaping grab over the fence earlier in this game to steal an out, but that was not going to happen there. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Heidel showing he wants to get to second base and in scoring position, but that one, ball two, bring the count to 2-1. Peters the lefty. Here's the 2-1. That's a swinger out to left field. Smith trying to get underneath it, and he does. Gets his glove in the right position, tracks it well, able to backstep. And two are now down for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Trent Rice now in the batter's box for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. 2 for 3 on the day, the freshman is from Macomb, Michigan. Can he make some magic with Brandon Heidel on first base? And 2 down. Here's the 0-2. Siri, here's the first pitch. That's going to be down low. Strike one. 0-1. Peters eyeing Heidel. Here's the pitch. Bunted. That's going to be successful. And Trent Rice, the speed man, is going to get to first. Heidel advances to second. Wright State seemed discombobulated there, and I don't know if you could pick it up, but a parent said, oh, that's trouble. Oakland caught the Raiders off guard with the bunt there, and the personnel wasn't able to shift infield in time, and Wright State is now contending with a base stealer on first and Brandon Heidel on second. In the batter's box now for the Golden Grizzlies is number 1, Sam Griffith. Seems to be going back to the dugout there. Seems like we're going to get a pinch hitter for Sam Griffith. It is going to be Ben Clark, one of the catchers on this team. Saw him against Eastern Michigan, had a crazy home run early in the game, and then was unable to get anything going off his bat later in the game. Batting a .324 with an OPS above 1, almost 1.1. He is unbelievable this year. 12 hits, 7 runs, 37 at-bats. In these late game scenarios, you want someone who is as magical as Ben Clark. He's not going to be that consistent guy that the upperclassmen are, but let's see if he can make some magic here. 2 down now, runners on first and second. Clark in the batter's box. That one is going to be near the feet of Ben Clark, and that's going to be ball 1. Bring the count to 1-0. Yep. 1-0, down low, and Brandon Heidel gets to third. And what's especially dangerous about this is there's no one at second, so you know what that means for Trent Rice. He's hungry, and he's going to want that second base spot. And statistics are saying Trent Rice is probably going to get there if the opportunity presents itself. 2-0 count now for Ben Clark. Here's the pitch. That is swung out to right field. The right fielder able to grab it in his glove, and that's going to retire the side. what seemed like a great play there and a great series of hits there from Oakland comes up empty. And now Wright State is one run away from tying this game and forcing Oakland to put their offense back on the field. But if Oakland's defense can get some stops here, that's curtains, and that's a great start here for the Golden Grizzlies in a home series against the number 1 team in the Horizon League. We are going to step aside here from the Oakland Baseball Field. Top of the 9th will be soon here on 88.3 FM WXOU. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to 88.3 FM WXOU Sports on YouTube. Top of the 9th here at the Oakland Baseball Field. Oakland holds a 6-5 lead over the Wright State Raiders. Brendan Decker still on the mound, looking to finish this game for the Golden Grizzlies. In the box for Wright State is number 16, Arnold. Count is 2-0 now. 2 pitches to try to challenge the the junior righty, who has hit 2 for 3 today. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Bring the count to 2-1. Every pitch now is going to become critical for Wright State. 2-1. Swung out to left field. Can John Lowinger get it? No! Tie game at the Oakland Baseball Field. Solo shot by Arnold. I told you, folks, never count out this Wright State offense and always be on your toes for a late game magical series and some late game fun. And Wright State is making this game a whole lot of fun. 6-6 now. And we're going to see a bottom of the 9th here. In the batter's box now, number 3, Gus Gregory, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch is in there for ball 1. Here's the second pitch outside for ball 2. Two-oh. Here it is. Swung out to center field. Reggie Bussey trying to come in shallower to grab it. And Gus Gregory gets on base. That's a singler. Oakland defense seems to be caught off guard with the magic that Wright State has presented itself with here at the top of the 9th. We saw a similar situation against Northern Kentucky. Forced a bottom of the 9th, and it went to extra innings. Can Oakland replicate what they did against the Norse here? Little discussion on the mound here. Doesn't look like they're gonna take Brendan Decker off. There is no one in the bullpen warming up or stretching and tossing. got a little bit of a shift here. This is interesting. Drew Gaskins is now playing third. Brandon Nye seems to be playing some sort of hybrid flex position. Carter Hain seems to be tied to second there. In the batter's box now for the Wright State Raiders, number 55, Julian Greenwell. Two for four on the day with a homer at the top of the first to lead off the game, and then a singler that came all the way home. Count is 1-0. Greenwell shows bunt. That goes foul, and that's going to be strike one, evening up the count to 1-1. Third base coach for Wright State giving the signs. 1-1 now. Here's the count. No one down. Pickoff attempt at first for Gregory is unsuccessful by Brandon Decker. One and one is the count. Another pickoff attempt. Really trying to execute that pickoff attempt there, get that first out, and give Oakland a little bit of a safety ejection there. 1-1. Again, flash bunt. Julian Greenwell is not able to get to first, but he's able to advance Gregory to second. Sack bunt there, executed well by Wright State, and now a Raider, Gus Gregory, is in scoring position with one down at the top of the ninth. In the batter's box now, Sammy Sass was looking for his first hit early on, then got a hit at the top of the eighth. Excuse me, that's the top of the seventh, the singler. First pitch of the at-bat. In there for strike one. You can see Brandon Decker trying to keep Gregory on second there, not try to get too big of a leadoff and get someone there in a pickoff attempt, in the event of a pickoff attempt. 0-1 the count now. Pickoff attempt there, and Gregory is out. Looked like he was out, but when the ump goes side profile, it's hard to see. Called it safe. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Brandon Decker could be putting himself in a pretty good position here if he knocks out Sammy Sass. 0-2. Down low. Ball one. Trying to pressure Sammy Sass into making a decision there. I think it was too low for Sass to think about going there. And with the senior pedigree that Sammy Sass has, you know that he's got a lot of experience in these type of situations, especially with high-level play that he gets from Wright State. 1-2, swung out to right field. And that's going to bring Gregory home, and now Wright State has a 7-6 lead. 2 runs at the top of the ninth have given Oakland some food for thought here and have really put the pressure on the offense now to perform. It's going to take 2 runs to put this game away at the bottom of the ninth. Sass on second there. That was a doubler. Caught it right in the gap where Oakland couldn't get personnel in time. In the batter's box now, Jay Leucart. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Wright State trying to get their dugout into it, and for good reason. They've gotten the lead back. 0-1. Close to Leucart, and that's going to be ball one. 1-1 now the count with one down and a runner on second. 7-6 game. Complete momentum shift here at the top of the ninth. That one's in there for ball 2. Bring the count to 2-1. Two and one now the count. Heidel trying to frame it. That's up high, and that's going to be 3-1. Wright State's dugout getting rowdy now. (3-1) with one down. Here's the 3-1. Tipped, foul, tried to fight that one off. That's going to be strike 2, and it's going to bring the count to 3-2. Getting a lot of encouragement here from the Oakland crowd. They seem to have quieted down, but you can tell they're waiting in anticipation for Oakland to get back on offense. Here's the 3-2. That swung up high. Lowinger going for the fences. He gets it in his glove. Sammy Sass trapped at second. That's the second out. Up to bat now for the Wright State Raiders. Number 40, Ben Vore. Has not gotten a hit today. Did get on base from a walk at the top of the fifth. Got all the way to second and then was trapped there. Let's see what he does in these two-out situations. Both teams not batting particularly great in two-out situations. Wright State hovering about 200. And Oakland batting an abysmal 125. 0-1 now the count. Decker placed it well. 0-1 outside. Ball 1. Evening up the count here at 1-1. Decker making sure that Sass stays at second. 1-1. Swing, wave and a miss. That's going to bring up strike 2. Third base coach giving Ben Vore some encouragement here. This is a really important at-bat for both Oakland and Wright State. Wright State can keep this momentum going and keep this train chugging along, and Oakland can get rid of them. Errant pitch. Ben Vore trying to advance to first. He cannot get there. And Oakland only down by 1 heading into the bottom of the 9th. My friends, this is where legends are made. Bottom of the 9th, pressure scenarios. Can Oakland finish this game out on offense? It went into the top of the 9th holding a 1-run cushion. You knew with the way that Wright State's offense was working, it likely wasn't going to be enough. And then Wright State tied it up and forced Oakland to get a run and just get a walk-off runner there. But now, with 2 runs at the top of the 9th, putting pressure on Oakland to get back 2 runs and in order to win this game, it's going to be very interesting to see what Oakland does on offense. Due up for Oakland. Reggie Bussey, John Lowinger, and Brandon Nye, all of which have had trouble. They have batted a combined 1 for 12 here today at the Oakland Baseball Field. We have a pitching change for the Wright State Raiders. Number 42, Cam Allen now on the mound. 4.50 ERA, 138 walks and hits in the innings pitched. He's only pitched 16 innings and has had 16 hits and 8 runs. Batting average against Allen this year, .276. Among all Wright State pitchers, that's actually right about 5th best. So this is right who you want if you're Wright State pitching and finishing out this game and potentially retiring the side for Oakland. He got his requisite 10, and now Reggie Bussey steps into the batter's box. We're catching the twilight hours of the day here. It is almost 6 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock now at the Oakland Baseball Field. Reggie Bussey getting into his get-ready routine. Need 2 runs in order to complete this game and take the first one against the Raiders. First one is in there for strike 1. Great positioning and great location there by Allen. That one travels along the left field line, and Reggie Bussey gets a single. On base, Oakland. We've seen this before. We've seen Oakland get on base early in the innings, but can they finish it out now? John Lowinger up to bat. Had the walk-off against Northern Kentucky in extra innings in Game 3 to clinch the series and the rubber match, so he's no stranger to these scenarios. First pitch, placed in there for strike 1. Reggie Bussey last year got the moniker Reggie Wheels and Reggie Steals for how fast he was. He was Oakland's leader in stolen bases before the upstart freshman Trent Rice came along. Count is now 0-2 for John Lowinger. Still no one down. Bussey on first. 7-6 lead for Wright State. On deck for Oakland is Brandon Nye in the hole for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Lucas Day. Continued picking off attempts at first. Seems like Cam Allen wants to contain Reggie Bussey at first. 0-2 now the count for Lowinger. That one fought off foul, pushed towards right field, and he gets another chance. Lowinger 0 for 4 today. If there was a time to get your first hit, it would be right now. Another pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Just trying to check Reggie Bussey at first. That's pickoff attempt number 4. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is unsuccessful. I don't think Cam Allen's going to go back to that. Here's the 0-2. That's up high. Home base ump calls it ball 1, and that's going to keep John Lowinger's at-bat alive here. 1-2 is the count. Pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful. One and two. Here it is. Fought off. Foul. Nice job there by Lowinger just to keep the at-bat alive. That energy by the Oakland crowd is back. 1-2 again. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Still no one down for Oakland. One to the count. Bottom of the 9th. Heroes are made here. Here's the pitch. Fought off again. Fought off again, and the pressure is building here. Switching from a righty in Shirk to a lefty in Peters. Pickoff attempt, unsuccessful. Back to a righty in Cam Allen. See how much that plays a role. Here's the pitch. Fought off again. And this is what John Lowinger was put up here to do. Just continue to work Cam Allen. Just the battle and the fight that John Lowinger has to keep the at-bat alive here. And here's the pitch. Swung out to shallow right field. Lowinger gets out. Bussey advances to second. Only one down for Oakland. And you've got a power hitter in Brandon Nye coming to the batter's box. Brandon Nye has a chance to be the hero here. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it here, folks. He is also 0 for 4. So, again, I say it once again. If there is a time to get your first hit and to bring home, at the very least, Reggie Bussey, that is a huge momentum shift, and that is a huge step in the right direction to taking this game here in 9. Sass has a discussion with Cam Allen, just trying to settle the reliever's nerves here. Likely going to be the closer. A lot of encouragement from the crowd for Brandon Nye. Here's the pitch. That's going to be up high. Home base umpire didn't like that positioning, and it's going to be ball 1. 1-0 the count now. Here's the 1-0. 2-0. Brandon Nye waiting for the good stuff to come right into the strike zone. 2-0. Near the dirt. 3-0. And all of a sudden, Cam Allen finds himself in a little bit of a situation here. Back against the wall with one of the best hitters in the Horizon League. At the very least, one of the most consistent hitters in the batter's box. No real shifts for Wright State's outfield. Seems like they're going with their base set. Here it is. Right near Brandon Nye's face, and that's going to be a walker. 2 runners on base for Oakland now, and they have a chance to get a 3-run here with Lucas Day. Now, here's a fun fact about Lucas Day, my friends. If there is someone you want to bring home a 3-run homer, it is most definitely Lucas Day. He is tied with Brandon Nye for home runs this year for Oakland. So if it wasn't going to be Brandon Nye, it was probably going to be Lucas Day. We've got a little bit of a meeting here between Jordan Banfield, Reggie Bussey, the coaches, Jared Helmick and Drew Howard, and Brandon Nye. Lucas Day just waiting patiently. This break in the action is brought to you by Friday Night Groove. Fridays at 8 p.m. Listen to Friday Night Groove right here on WXOU. Hosted by DJ Roosevelt Belton Jr. Since 2011, Friday Night Groove is your home for some of the best soul, jazz, electronic, indie, and alternative music here at the station. He also has interviews with the artists and one of the best radio voices in the game. You can follow Trill Gunderson on Instagram for all of the latest on the show, Friday Night Grooves, Fridays at 8 on WXOU. We resume action here. Here is the first pitch. That one is skied high, and it looks like the second baseman Gregory was able to track it and retire Lucas Day. So now it's up to Carter Hain with 2 down. Now Brandon Heidel. This is now a now or never situation. You got to at least get 1 run in and get Brandon Heidel on base. We've seen Heidel do it before. He's got the arm. Can he power it home? Backs are against the wall for Oakland. Here's the pitch. Fought off foul towards right field. 0-1 now the count. Heidel gets another opportunity. 2 down, runner on first and second. Bussey on second, Nye on first. Cam Allen eyeing Bussey. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's going to be strike 2. This is it, my friends. Brendan Heidel goes out swinging here, or any sort of out. Wright State takes a come from behind win in game 1. 0-2. Check swing. Ball 1. And the at-bat is alive. One, 2. Now the count. Here's the 1-2. Near Heidel's face. That's going to be ball 2. He seems to be eyeing that center field position. He's got to get it over Allen's head, and he has a chance to make some magic here. Two. Swing and a miss. That is going to be it from the Oakland Baseball Field for game 1 here, ladies and gentlemen. Oakland held a 5-3 lead for majority of the game, but the Raiders slowly chipped at it and then broke it apart at the top of the 9th and were able to come away with the victoire here. It's going to be up to Oakland to fix this on the back 2 with a game on Saturday, tomorrow, and a game on Sunday. We will see you right back here on Sunday, May 5th, to see if Oakland is going to get a rubber match or is going to have to avoid getting swept by the Raiders. This was a much-needed win by Oakland, and unfortunately just couldn't take the opportunity. We are going to step aside, and that's going to be it for us here at the Oakland Baseball Field. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an absolute pleasure to be your commentator here at the Oakland Baseball Field. You are listening to 88.3 FM, WXOU. See you next time.
To the 10, to the 5, touchdown Golden Grizzlies!
You are listening to the 88.3 FM WXOU post-game interview with Ainsley Goose. Ainsley, thank you for being here.
And we are back to full strength here for the final 3:20. Shot! And
Goal! Hunter finds Golke for 3. It's good for Golke!
There's Golke again calling his own number with a 3-point shot.
Welcome to WXOU, everybody. After Oakland University wins against the University of Michigan 2-1, one of the goal scorers, Donovan Phillip, is with me here.
And that is a very, very fiery attack on behalf of Oakland's Libby Teal.
But I just wanted to know, how were you guys able to rally after dropping your last 2 games?
Shot is up, shot is good, and there it is.
Looks like everybody gets their piece of the night, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they were waiting for. Maybe it was just me.